Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. That's right, Power Recapper Dave. And we've got another clip from the Nick Viall Nayte podcast. Broke up over the phone. That's right, we got Zach Morris there showing us what a phone used to look like. You spoiled brats. Oh, I have the iPhone 8. Yeah, can it, Susan? This guy had a brick he was holding on to. You know what kind of shoulder strength you need to hold on to one brick for a long... Your mom's talking to you, you're sweating, you got that sweat happening in here, you're leaning against it. Anyway, all right, so let's get into it. Be a jellyfish and blob your way onto the like button. Get over there, Instagram, @DNeals. We love you on a good thirsty Thursday. All right, maybe you don't need drink alcohol, that's fine. Get your drunken noodles, get ready to go. We got some shenanigans. Be a flying squirrel and land on this content. It is going to get good. Don't forget, it's Miss Trisha's day on the teacher wish list here. Mrs. Trisha is our teacher of the day. Link in the comment section to donate to Mrs. Trisha if you want. I mean, by the way, Mrs. Trisha means business. She's not doing those fancy erasers. She wants the 12-pack, baby. Someone buy Miss Trisha enough erasers to cancel all those kids' mistakes. God knows they're all making them out there. Boy, Eric would love to have an eraser to erase his high school experience at this point. We'll get into that later. All right. Michelle Youngzak's Nayte explains why he broke up with Michelle over the phone. Rather than get into it myself, let's just hear what the hullabaloo is all about from Nayte's chat with Nick Viall. A full podcast is available on Nick's YouTube channel, small YouTuber Nick Viall.
After you guys broke up, my impression is you broke up with her, right? And what did Michelle say?
She acknowledged that it can be really hard to talk about this kind of thing and said, I think where I'm struggling, it's like you never know how much to say. You never know how to handle it. You never know how it's going to be taken. But what I will say is this is not something I foresaw, and I'll leave it there.
It's just kind of cryptic. Almost implies that maybe something specific happened. And then
Caitlin Bristow made a comment on her podcast that said that she had been kind of like helping Michelle through the breakup. And she said that Michelle was, quote, definitely blindsided by the breakup.
Like, how did you break up with her?
I broke up with her over the phone. So I know that.
I mean, you seem like a great guy.
Oh, boy, there it is. There's like no way to hide it. How'd you break up with her? He was getting like, well, it wasn't in person. All right. He's like, I had no socks on, and you never want to break up with someone when you don't have socks on. You don't want to be you don't want your toes exposed during a breakup.
But if I'm being honest, like, not the best.
Yeah.
Like, you want to think she's worth a plane ticket.
All right. And by the way, we know Katie Thurston was on her way, or about to be on her way, to visit Blake Moyne's family when she also broke up with Blake. But then again, it's like, you could defend it. Nate's going to do a good job. We have to remember one thing. There is a engagement in the Bachelor world isn't as serious as an engagement as I always say, the longer it takes to get into a relationship, the longer it takes to break up. It was a new thing. It was a firework. I'm not defending him. I've only been dumped, by the way. I've never had to break up with somebody. So I'm the victim of my love story. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, it was just
is there like,
yeah, like, cause you don't want to break up with somebody, especially your fiance, over the phone.
Truth.
It was it's her birthday weekend.
Oh, birthday.
And she has all of her friends in LA.
It's my birthday. I can get dumped on TV.
And I mean, our relationship was there was a lot of just it wasn't as good.
You're fumbling
as our relationship was tough. There was lots of up and downs, lots of arguments, lots of fights.
And look, I get it. It's hard to discuss a breakup in this format because everyone who wants to side with Michelle's going to go, oh my gosh, how distasteful. This was can you believe it? He didn't even wear socks to the breakup. Oh, but it's like we're all getting stung by a jellyfish again. But the truth of the matter is, like, the best route is the elevated road. We call it the high road. That's the best route to take. But at the same time, he feels like he's been labeled as this and labeled as that, and I don't know what that could feel like to feel so mischaracterized.
And just not really clicking, not really seeing eye to eye. And so when it comes to breaking up with Michelle over the phone, it was her birthday weekend. Like I said, we're all here in LA because her and I got invited to this Wango Tango event, and from the beginning of the weekend, things were just kind of rocky.
All right, so here's the beginning of the weekend. Here's them at the Wango Tango event. This is essentially the weekend they're breaking up. And people called it right away.
Hey, but like hottest couple,
the voice.
Because holy cow, I like mine better.
And I'm not blaming this. I'm sure it's a loud crowd, so her voice had to get a little on the shrill-o-meter as far as Dave Yoki goes. You guys know I'm not a great vocalist myself. My voice sounds like an RV, stuck in a tornado. But here, oof.
Because you look fabulous, and I'm loving the matching. I feel like you always have really good fashion.
Hey, I appreciate that. I really do.
Where is like your inspiration coming from? How are you putting your outfits together?
She hitting on him?
Inspiration. Let's see. For just fashion sense?
Yeah.
I had a neighborhood friend growing up who told me that the way you dress.
Boy, they're both looking at him with moist energy, I would say. I mean, he's a good-looking guy, and he explains in his interview with Nick that he maybe comes off as an F-boy because of his personality, being tall, the way he dresses and all that. But hey, sometimes you just naturally have this sort of je ne sais quoi pas.
Have like this swag.
Girl, she don't know. Okay, so anyway, is this a best of 2022 video?
This is how you're going to be viewed in life. So I kind of took that to heart when I was younger. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Are we? Did we forget the wedding ring tonight? Are we making people talk?
Honestly, we should have left.
All right, there it is. Yikes. By the way, since been returned, I've talked to some previous bachelorettes. It's hilarious. Oh, they come knocking on the door. Hey, who's here? Neal Lane. He wants his ring back. They spit on it and just get it out there. All right, that's moist energy for you right there when you got to spit on the ring and get it off. All right. Anyway, so, and by the way, I like that, but this swag, I mean, you want to talk about swag. It's so funny that Madison's fiance, Grant Trout, thinks he has swag. No, this is swag, okay? This is top to bottom, head to Dale's toes, swag on top of swag. So anyway, you could see, this is during the weekend of fighting, but let's go back to the Nayte video.
They got even more rocky. Wango Tango happened, and her and I, we got into an argument right before doing all those press interviews and whatnot. And it's like such a buildup, trying to talk about like why it ended. Like it's such a buildup. But long story short,
it's never short.
The weekend was not a good weekend, and
oh, that's never good. Hey, how'd it go? The weekend was not a good weekend. Oh, right. Here, we'll have a hot caffeine overload if you need one there, my boy Nate. And I mean, hopefully you hope that they're in better places, but clearly he still looks torn talking about it. Probably good therapy for him, but collateral damage here absolutely would be Michelle. Collateral damage. You have to understand these clips will be taken, dissected and this and that. So he talks about how rough it was, broke up over the phone. And then we have more information. So I'm going to share with you what Zachary Reality has compiled. Speaking of moist, nobody makes you as moist as Zachary Reality here with that reporting he does over on Instagram and TikTok. But he has actually some information about the country singer that Nayte said was in Michelle Young's DMs. Now, being in someone's DMs doesn't have to be a sinister thing. I have 1 million people in my DMs. I get DMs all the time. Only once, though, have one of you guys sent me a nude photo. Please don't do that. This is your announcement. No nude photos. But somebody actually sent me a full frontal nude photo. I showed it to Tasha. I go, I'm famous enough to get nude photos now. You don't have to do that, sir. It was Bruce, by the way. But hey, we can't all be moist. No, it wasn't. It was a female. Anyway, so before I share this with you, if you didn't check my last video, then you're going to have to go back because yes, indeed, this is a caffeine overload. But that's okay. This is a supplemental coverage on the channel. So we go to the 53-minute mark where Nayte discusses these text messages he caught Michelle sending, then deleting with the country singer. Well, you guys immediately were able to figure out who that country singer is. Here's where he described that.
You call your friend that you said that you were with, and right. I just want to
So he caught her DMing with this country singer. He saw her, and then he looked back, and she had deleted the conversation. And he was like, why'd you delete the conversation? And she was like, well, I didn't want it to come off the wrong way. And then he was like, call your friend. And he wanted to corroborate her story. The friend didn't understand. And anyway, this is where it picks up.
Hear it from her. And so she did that. She called her friend. She was like, hey, so-and-so, do you remember this? And her friend was like, Michelle, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I was just like, all right. And then
So then he mentions it was a country singer who was in town, and of course, immediately everyone's like, we'll figure it out who it was. Country singer in Minnesota at the dates and times. So Zachary Reality gets this message sent to him. The country singer was Kane Brown. Here's Kane Brown. Kane Brown didn't fit the country music mold, so he made his own. This is an article from a few days ago in the failing New York Times. Prejudice has followed this biracial singer from his earliest days as a performer, now a proven hit maker in a range of styles. He's released his third album, Different Man. So this is what the person says. The country singer was Kane Brown. I was at that concert in Minnesota and saw them together. So Zachary goes, whoa. Joy Lawrence style, if you know, you know. Blossom, and then Blossom is now the host of Jeopardy. It's a long story. If you grew up in the 90s, you get it. These videos are so niche. They're for literally one person. Yep, her and all of her friends were there with them, and they went and played basketball like he said. All right, the basketball story is corroborated. Then Zach goes, is he married? So now it's getting really nitty-gritty. Really, is this guy married? What's going on there? And then the responders, he is, to Caitlin Brown. They have 2 little girls. But is he a loyal husband? Nayte made it seem like it could have been flirty between Michelle and him. I don't know. I would imagine he brought her out on stage when he sang his famous song, Famous Friends, and then afterwards in VIP or whatever, they were all together. His wife wasn't on tour with him for that show, so I really don't know. But that did sound super sketchy that she just delete the whole thread, and Nayte wasn't in Minnesota with her during the concert. Yeah, I feel like deleting a thread is sketchy because now it leaves Nayte up to not know what the thread was about when it couldn't have been that bad. You know, a winky face might look bad, but it's not nearly as bad as what the brain might think you have going on. Now, in the defense of Kane Brown, by the way, we don't want to skip over that. R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth. This other person said, I've worked with Kane Brown a couple of times, and let me tell you, that man is 100% a family man. He loves and respects his wife and kids so much. He is very friendly and welcoming. I was invited to hang with him backstage because I work in radio, and all he did was talk about his family and how much he misses them. I feel like this is Nayte making excuses. Michelle nor Kane would never. Yeah, I don't think so either, but clearly she deleted the conversation. Maybe she was trying to protect him because she knew Nayte was the jealous type. I'm not really sure what went down there, but there might be more to the story, which we will be covering on this here Power Recap channel. So we'll have more information for you guys, but this has been an update to the Michelle v. Nayte storyline. Of course, as we knew when they broke up, as always happens, somebody eventually does the talking. And if you guys want to just look, I mean, it's not looking pretty right now for the comment section. And I didn't even get into this. Bachelor Nation Scoop said, Nayte opens up about his breakup with Michelle. Some highlights from the interview. Bachelor Rabbit Hole said, he's disrespectful as hell. And that's part of the problem. When you tell your truth, that might hurt someone else. But he tried to rationalize why he felt the way he did. And of course, people might not be into that. Chris Randone comments, you guys think breaking up over a phone is bad? Try someone ending a marriage over the phone. Queasy face. And of course, I responded, be worse if they waited for free nights and weekends. Can't waste those minutes. All right, folks, that's it from me. I think this was a best of 2022 nominee. Anytime Zach Morris is involved, we got a banger. All right, folks, stay moist. We'll see you out there. Link in the comment section to donate to our teacher of the day, Miss Trisha. And also join the Patreon if you want to hear me sing Hero by Mariah Carey. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. Been a fun day. See you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.